Lee, owner of Serendipitous Psychotherapy, joins us this morning to talk about that back-to-school anxiety. And we know this can really be an overwhelming time for parents and students, especially if this is a big transition time, like if kids are going to a new school or they're changing an important grade, like going to kindergarten for the first time, even going to high school. So what do you recommend to help parents and students deal with those back-to-school blues?
Positive affirmations.
Okay.
And I'm going to date myself a little bit here. If you remember that Saturday Night Live skit with Stuart Smalley, I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me. There is a lot of science based in how we speak to ourselves and positive self-talk. And we don't want to negate the negative feelings kids might be having. We really want to validate that they might be feeling nervous or anxious, but what can they say to themselves to get through the day that is repetitive in terms of creating some sense of calm and feeling rooted in, I'm going to do a great job today, or you get it, or I am trying something new. And that can really increase confidence and self-esteem. A lot of times my clients, my adult clients, will say, that feels so silly, does it really work? It absolutely works. It doesn't work if you do it 1 or 2 times. You might feel like you're lying to yourself, but it really gets into the subconscious brain so that it becomes a natural way of speaking to ourselves.
So how do you execute something like this? Do you recommend, in the morning, in the bathroom, saying this to your child in the mirror? Is this like on the way to school? Like, you are wonderful. You are enough. Like, how do you put this into action?
All of it. I think that sometimes kids have a hard time coming up with it on their own. So as parents, we need to model it. And sometimes putting Post-it notes throughout the house, in the mirror, next to the bedroom. Maybe you go out if your child is feeling exceptionally nervous. Being able to buy some kind of plaque that they can read every morning when they get out of bed. But also it's important to take breaks throughout the day because that anxiety can build. So really teaching them some self-soothing skills, not only how they talk to their self, but also that mind-body connection, taking a deep breath and being able to say, it's going to be okay.
And if it's more than your child that needs that motivation, what resources can people turn to if they're struggling with something like that?
Absolutely. So sometimes these don't work for people. If there are other issues like increased anxiety or depression, then it is important to consult with your pediatrician. And there are also counselors at school that can be a great resource.
Wonderful. All right, Kelly Kitley, wonderful to have you as usual. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, thanks for having me.